you know, or casters or even hosts, it's very difficult for us to keep our eyes on all levels of Counter-Strike on all scenes. But I was taking a little look at who they've played recently in their matches. They played teams like Splice and Ghost, who are down, you know, in the top, maybe the top 15. You know, they would be anywhere. Those two teams would probably be from 15th to 10th. You could argue they can be playing in that level. And they beat Ghost, you know, which is a team who's recently been picked up by an organization, and they had some very close matches against the likes of Splice.
Yep.
So that adds a little bit of credibility to their approach. And the best thing about these guys is the fact that nobody knows anything. If we don't know anything, I'm sure Cloud9 have had a hard time looking for things. And that surprise factor and that level of preparation and that Brazilian flair and dedication, the fact that these guys are so passionate, I think is a driving force. And look how young they are.
They are a very young team, aren't they?
Yeah.
A couple of likely lads at the front. Yeah, I don't really know too much about them. Like I said, I can only really give you statements about the Brazilian scene as a whole. Like, I haven't had a chance to watch these guys at all, which is great. This is what the Mine is all about, is finding these sort of talents and showing that they can compete on the world stage. And this is why Valve made these kind of events, to actually allow these sort of teams to break through. If they are skilled enough, if they can turn up on the right day, maybe there's a chance they could actually cause some damage here. I don't think Cloud9 will be super comfortable going into this one. Sure, they've probably watched a few demos and stuff, but like we said, that Brazilian playstyle can be quite difficult to play against. It's the first game of the day. You're not sure what to expect. They're very aggressive, very fast, and just playing off their spawns, and they've got amazing aim. It can be overwhelming at times, and you're focusing on trying to fix your strategies and bring all the fundamentals together as a team, and you're kind of like got that in the back of your head. It can run away from you, the game, very quickly in the best of one. So I'm not sure. I think Cloud9 will win for sure, but I don't think they're most comfortable of victories.
Both teams are going to come out hopefully confident in their game styles, right? And this is the thing that I want to see from Pain, a very clear, concise game plan. Doesn't really matter. They know that they're vetoing down to one map. So in their mind, it could be one of 3, right? You'd be thinking one of 3, maybe even one of 2 maps.
Shall we find out?
Let's do that.
Shall we find out
the
veto? We can delve straight in, and at the bottom, it is Train.
Okay. So let me just quickly have a little look here, because I was looking at map stats, and these guys have a relatively deep map pool, I thought.
So they played against Splice, the game you're referencing. It was like triple overtime. They lost on Train 25-22. So it's a map they play. We didn't actually see Cloud9 play that map at the Pro League finals, but they have historically played it.
They're historically pretty good on it, right? It's one where Stu and Automatic can find territory on the T side and get a lot of entry frags.
That's when I first started to take notice of this lineup as a whole, when we first was playing Train. It's when they were using this tag team duo of Stu and Automatic. T side, they were just such a brute force coming out the main entrance, very loose and very fast play styles, getting out there looking very assertive to go and find the kills with the AK-47s. So that's why I thought this team has actually got some legs to it. And that's, I think it was a Pro League I'm thinking of. That was the event in the group stages that was running over people. And I thought, how is Automatic looking so confident right now? Just running out wherever he wants and just killing absolutely everyone. So yeah, very good map for Cloud9. Haven't seen so much of it recently, but I think against a team like Pain, they should be absolutely fine.
Well, something to note for Pain, this is their most played map.
However, though, that means that Cloud9, this is the most opportunity they'll have seen to watch.
Even though it's their most played map, they only have a 46.7% win ratio on it. But if they're going up against better teams because it is their better map or is their favorite most played map, you're more likely to lose that, right? Because you're happy to go in again and try and play to your strengths. And I'm happy that they're doing that. They're not trying to play the Cloud9 weaknesses, which is very difficult to do in a best of one. Now, Train, you can get the ball rolling relatively quickly, right? Especially on that CT side, you need to take initiative. I don't want to see Pain playing a passive style of Counter-Strike. I want to see them going, let's push inside. Let's send numbers over towards Vines. Let's do a lot of aggression there. Let's grab the game and let's run with it and force Cloud9 to play to our tempo. Let's not play to Cloud9's tempo, and that's the best way that these guys can approach this match.
I completely agree. I think that just play a looser play style and use the spawns and try and get those first picks and use any star players you have. We're not sure who they are, but if you can present them to us and show who's the craziest aimers are going to be, that's what you need to be using and having that surprise factor and make them feel uncomfortable. They can't just run their full strategies. They can't just go for the default map control, full execution, have all 5 players alive. You need to be contesting for those duels at the very start of the round.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting. Actually, I'm actually really glad it's Train now, having known that Pain have played it a lot. Thank you, guys. We'll be back with you after this first map. We will catch up after and see how the only map and see how Cloud9 and Pain do. I am now going to hand it over to our first casting duo of the day, and it is Moses and Anders.
Well, thank you so much, James. We appreciate it. And we're ready indeed here with the game. Coming up the first one, Group B, and it's Pain versus Cloud9. You ready, Moses?
I'm so ready. Yeah. Very serious desk this morning. They really started things out on a serious note.
I don't think I heard a single pickle mention at all, so that's already a big concern for me.
Not even a single animal reference?
No animal references either. So
They've really dropped the ball.
Maybe it's just getting to them, the late hours, the weird time zones.
Henry did mention he doesn't know what universe we're in at the moment. So
yeah, I can believe that. Yeah. He does seem a bit out of it. I won't lie. But the game is ready, and it's Pain Gaming that's going to be starting on the CT side and Cloud9 on the Terrorist side. We'll see how that unfolds. Some names that we're not quite familiar with, but luckily we can more or less pronounce them. We were worried for a bit.
Yeah, we were working through them, weren't we?
Yeah, they had different names in game than the ones that you're seeing here.
Cello, Landon, we're going to go with DZT, I'm assuming.
DZT,
it's going to be on the screen. Nekiz and Tadizin.
Tadizin, yeah, that one I wasn't quite sure because I feel like if the second A was an E, I could do it more easily. But I'm with your pronunciation of that one, so we'll just go ahead and do it this way. And actually, look at all the purchasing that's going on Cloud9. That's a lot of utility, Moses.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to do that smoke that they throw from back towards like the garbage bin that lands in the connector. And actually, even now, it just looks like a very quick outside strategy. This is what Cloud9 likes to do on Train. They like to do a lot of ladder presence, a lot of aggressive swinging out wide between Stewie, between the other players, and they're going to get out right onto the bomb site.
Ooh, that's such a nice smoke towards the C connector. That's actually not easy to throw. It looks like it should be, but it's very hard to get one that covers everything there. So very well done, and they have the bomb down, 5 versus 5 in the after plant.
This retake is going to be an absolute nightmare. There are so many crossfires that can be set up. These flanks from ladder room for DZT and Landon coming around through T-Choke. Those are going to be the important battles.
What is happening? Cello does go down now. Nekiz trying to fall back towards Ivy, and nothing going to go and challenge him. Skadoodle lands a kill on Landon as well, and now DZT, the last one left. And 1 versus 4, no chance at all in this one. It takes a while to get the kill on Stewie. He eventually does. That will be the first round favoring Cloud9. That looked just incredibly smooth. Yes, too easy.
That's going to be the theme of this. If Pain's going to give up that much ground to Cloud9, we're just going to see this turn into a steamroll, right? Just because if you give these guys all that space to work with and you're not challenging for the bomb site that way, I mean, you have to be realistic. You're not going to retake that outer bomb site in a 5-on-5 on a pistol round against all the Glocks that have the advantage getting all the way pushed up to the back of the bomb train. Too many different places you have to clear out, too many different angles that you can just miss clearing it fully and you just lose. So they have to be very, very cautious in giving up the bomb sites that way.
Yeah, it's a theme that we keep revisiting on Train. You know, do you play in front of the smokes or behind the smokes? You play behind the smokes like they did there. Yeah, you're going to lose the bomb site, and eventually they're going to have to make up their minds about whether or not they want to challenge a bit more. Cello here, picking up a kill on Automatic, and actually a second one with the C-set, 75. What is going on for the American team? Now he's stolen that Galil. Yeah. This is not good.
Yeah, no, Stewie's got to be aggressive here. He's got to find some ground to gain, and he's right into old hell. That's an easy kill, and now they've kind of stabilized things.
Skadoodle, 2 quick kills for him. Nekiz picking up 1 on Shroud. The bomb is down at least, so for now, Cloud9 just have to hide and not really challenge too much. There's no kit in play, and Cloud9 will surely know that. Stewie going to pick up the kill on Nekiz, and that should be the end of the round here. No trouble at all. Landon just hoping to maybe get another kill. Be great if he could escape with a UMP, but that won't happen. Still, what an expensive round.
Yeah, it got dicey there. Some good kills, though, on the UMP is going to help that out just a little bit. This is going to be a solid buy out of Cloud9. So they're going to stabilize the economy a little bit.
Am I just making this up, or does it feel like the C-set 75 is making just a minor comeback?
A slight comeback? Yeah, I mean, it's still impactful, right? It's just tough to use. It's kind of taken away as that second option just because of how long it takes to pull out, obviously.
Yeah.
But you see certain players go.
You want to pull it out quick.
Yeah, you got to pull it out quicker.
All right.
You got to be prepared for that at any moment.
All right, I'm glad we got that in. Just looking for the Deagle headshot is DZT. Not able to find anything yet. And they're all over the A yard. And actually, because of the SMG push in there from Shroud, I believe, pretty risk-free, just discovers there's no one on B immediately.
This is going to be the theme. Cloud9 is taking these rounds very fast, very aggressively. Everything's been executing within, the first 30, 40 seconds of these rounds. They're not waiting around whatsoever. So this is going to be the kind of disrespect style coming out that we normally see by an overwhelming favorite. And going into the gun rounds, Pain has to put a stop to that as quick as possible. This Galil, actually, surprisingly, this would be a pretty huge weapon to bring into the next round because then you can afford, the smoke, the Molotov to stop the kind of rushes, to do the counter executes.
I feel like people have different philosophies on this, where some would say, well, if you're the better team, and you're playing the best of one, you should just go with the fundamentals, because probably chances are your fundamentals will be better than their fundamentals, and then you just keep the game like that. But I mean, there are other teams that will say, well, we're so much better, we're just gonna go with the big dick approach and make that work.
Yeah, and also on a map like this, which can be very momentum based and very snowball-y, determined like with how the economy plays out. If you go with this fast pace and you're successful with it, then you can just kind of run away with things. There's always the worry that if you go into a match where you're the overwhelming favorite and you just play it conservatively, you just try and not make mistakes, that you're just not going to be aggressive enough, and you're going to give the underdogs too much for them to work with in these matches. And this very much is a big dick approach to start out these first 3 rounds from Cloud9.
There's no doubt about that. So much as it's evident. You don't even have to be an expert to see that that's what's happening here. 4th round in, smoke lands, but Landin, they go out just a bit too early, and that's going to cost them Stewie, but automatic there with a refrag right away, and I like the fact that they're playing so far up Pain Gaming. Big fan of this approach, but a nice flip from Skadoodle will take down DCT. We'll see if they can actually get back into this. The Bombers plants it once again. Skadoodle in action, jumping down right in the face of Landin. So now 2-on-2, the bomb is down, and they are sort of sandwiched in here, Cloud9. They're going to be very careful. The Shroud goes down, it's going to be a big problem, but he will be able to find that kill. So now it's Landin 1-on-2 with the AWP, and they have no reason to peek him at all.
Yeah, this is already won. He should almost just save this gun. He's got no kit. It's a full 10-second defuse. He just doesn't have the time to search for these kills. And now he's not going to be able to get away. Another good round from Cloud9, executing perfectly. Skadoodle with some huge kills, though. There were 2 players that were, in the sandwich, in hell, that could have caused a lot of problems. But Skadoodle hit some very, very nice shots. Even with the mistake, like you mentioned, that smoke. I mean, people just coming out of ladder room before that smoke plumes. This is one thing with Cloud9's train, though, that's going to be tough for Pain Gaming, and even is something moving forward into the future for future C9 opponents. They love coming out of ladder room. And that's kind of a scary prospect if you're a train team at the moment, because ladder room for the CT sides at the moment is very, very strong. Usually we're seeing 2 players nowadays, 1 inside, 1 outside, sometimes doubled up inside. And if you have a heavy emphasis on that ladder room and it's not successful, your T side can run into a wall.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, and then those E-box positions as well, they can be pretty strong. Skadoodle having a bit of a weird game there, and Shroud decides it's all over. Doesn't want to keep watching that pitiful attempt to shoot through the E-box, which I could appreciate. 5 versus 3 for the moment, and yeah, this is some really quick rounds coming out right now for the C9 team.
It's going to be that way until Pain can slow him down. It might slow down in this next round just because with the losing bonus built up, it'll be at its full value in the next round. That's when you'll see Pain with the M4s and the Molotovs. They can slow down that kind of fast execute style. There's a nice shot with the Deagle though. That's an AK-47 salvaged. Stewie going hunting, not going to work. But yeah, this is what Pain has to do, right? They have to survive the first 30 seconds. That's like got to be #1 in their game plan at the moment.
Oh, I like this. Just, I mean, trying to lure them in a bit, tapping the bomb once at least would keep them in the area. But you're right. This is going to be 5-0 and moving into the 6th round. Curious to see, because there is definitely a pattern here. I mean, for one thing, it's all on the A-bomb side, right? Yeah. And just the fairly quick approach. We'll see if they can just lay down the grenades. They're actually going for the double orb.
Yeah, and this could actually be a big benefit if Cloud9, I mean, we saw the 1-op punish a player who goes out a little bit too early, but the smokes from C9 have looked pretty on point, and they're going very deep. So if the ops want to have an impact on that outer bomb site, at some point they're going to have to get in front of those smokes. So that would be an opportunity. This round is just like how fast-paced is Cloud9 going to be?
Skadoodle already moving in, just making sure there's nothing funny happening over here, and actually DCT walks right into it, so that's not the best way to get started. It's a pretty big investment into the round, and at least Cello will be able to get the frag back. Stewie just on a bit of a stroll out in the A yard. No one there to back him up. Tatasin will go down to Shroud, and that's going to leave a bomb plant, and they are very far away, Pain Gaming. Not even fully rotated out of Ivy yet.
Yeah, this could even be a save call, actually. Look how deep that Molotov is. That's got to be so heartbreaking. This round just probably feels so hopeless for the Pain guys. If this smoke comes out, this should be the definite save call after this. This should just be bail out of the round, save the weapons for the next one. You always got those school of thoughts. Is on the round like this, automatically take some guns out. Actually, he just wins every fight.
This is absolutely brutal, isn't it? They'd already decided to save automatic. Just be a human being for once and leave them alone.
You can always question whether it's smart to do that kind of aggression when you have that first buy. When you have that major investment, do you really want to risk someone pushing up upper ramp like that? They had an idea for it, right? You saw the pop flash come out. It just doesn't affect Skadoodle whatsoever. Yeah. So just a little bit off, maybe just not at an angle that pop flash is going to hit, obviously. Now we're going to see the pause out of Pain Gaming. But yeah, this is just Cloud9. Like I think against another team with a team they're going to respect a little bit more in terms of within the server. They get that kill, and they kind of slow things down and play the 5-on-4. Here, it's just, we have an advantage. Let's just press the issue everywhere.
I mean, I think almost everyone said they were the favorites. Didn't everyone say that Cloud9 were the favorites to sort of make it through?
I think, yeah. I mean, Cloud9 in this group, they've got to be the favorite to go out first, right? Yeah. Definitely. I put CLG as second in this group.
I think that's not unreasonable. But, yeah, I mean, at this point, it's looking really good for them. And Skadoodle on top. Everyone likes seeing that.
Yeah.
9, 1, and 2.
Power top. He's doing very good.
There it is. So what's the gameplay here? I mean, right now I think the most aggressive we've seen them try and be was that actually that push into like the upper holes on B against Skadoodle with the AWP, right? Yeah. That's like and that's not a very forward position. I mean, that's still fairly passive. So, you know, is it time to go crazy and push 3 people into main or something like that?
You know, I think the first step for Pain, and this is what we see at the top echelons of Counter-Strike at the moment, is maintain that, get that ladder control outside as CT side. You really want to control that portion of the map. That's huge at the moment. It's so strong, such a good position to be in, and also slow down these fast pace. Just get more aggressive in general on the choke points. You can see them all pushing up down these train lanes. There's the 2 players in ladder control. That's nice to see. That helps so much. You get information. You can hear footsteps. You can flank quickly. Even if your teammate watching mid dies, you have 2 players in perfect spots. You still can't lose the bomb site if you have someone alive in ladder room.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And I mean, really, it seems like the only weak point now is if they would wrap around the sort of left-hand side of Ivy, if they smoke towards the yard. Very unlikely, I feel like, that Cloud9 would do that. And most people just don't do that. So I kind of like the setup.
Well, they have Landon at the bomb train. So he's actually, it's kind of weird seeing someone at the front of the bomb train looking towards Ivy. So no eyes on his back, but he's got his teammates there. 2 in ladder room, 1 watching mid. So he'll have plenty of information if someone's coming out, if they're applying pressure. He can spin wherever he needs to. They're more than willing to give up a lot of Ivy control in this setup.
Ah, that smoke from Stewie is probably going to land right by Popdog or by E-Box there. So that could be very interesting. See if it's going to force any kind of rotation. So far, all of Pain Gaming are standing exactly where they were a couple of seconds ago. They're not really moving at all. Down in the B bomb site, though, Tatson ready and waiting. He's got a Molotov that he saved. That is very cool. He saved it all the way down to 28 seconds. Not a lot of people will actually do that now. DCT pushing up behind. He's going to get 2 quick kills. That's massive. And Cello following it up, taking down Automatic and Shroud. And that's the end of the round. Cloud9.
Yeah.
They were not anticipating that 1 Molotov.
This is why that setup is so strong, because if you're going to do a play like that, heavy towards inside, you almost have to clear out ladder room. That flank can come up so quick. You could see there just how effective it is. No one from Cloud9 even drops down to clear it. No one throws any utility or anything like that. And it's at this moment, because nothing's throwing a little bit of a fake towards Ivy, that, you know, Pain is saying, all right, this is definitely a fake. They're definitely going towards inside. We're just going to get that quick flank going.
Oh, I think actually in the replay you even saw that once they got the first kill on DCT, they pulled out their knives to keep running. They had no idea there was a second player there. That's brutal. Let's see if Cello could do it again. He got the double kill in the last round. That's a great headshot taking down Stewie, but a quick return, double and then a triple. Shroud picking up the 3rd one there, taking down Landon. So Cloud9 not really happy with the pace of that last round, just decided to go back out and punish that A-bomb side.
Yeah, why not? Just go back to what's working. Neck is still alive over towards Ivy, but he's shut down quickly by Skadoodle, and Tatazin rotating over can't even do anything. He's just going to have to save this gun. So quick, effective, and efficient from Cloud9.
It's the way we like it, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I mean,
this is just one of the strengths of Cloud9, and this is actually the strength of most North American teams that we've seen have success on a big way. Is these bomb site takes are so aggressive, so fast. I mean, you can see Stewie, Automatic. They're the only 2 dead. Those are the guys that you want to be pushing up, and you want just swinging wide, taking all the fights, getting down the train lanes. And the tough part on train is if one player dies, like the defense just kind of crumbles after that. Every position is so important to have some kind of a setup going on, and as soon as you lose that first player, it can snowball out of control very quickly.
I feel like their name in itself could sort of go both ways. I think we have another timeout here. You know,
tech issue, I believe.
Yeah, it's unclear at this point if they like the Pain or if they're trying to be the ones to dish it out. Like, I think it could go both ways. A dangerous name to pick for an organization, I feel like.
Yeah, it certainly is going one way this time around, isn't it?
Yeah. Some people like that, Moses, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I got nowhere to go with that one.
No. Dangerous territory.
I really can't argue with it, can I?
Was Kogu playing for them for a while, and then did he disappear again, or am I making that up?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've seen like news articles of Kogu coming back to like 3 or 4 different Brazilian teams over the past 2 years. So I'm not quite sure where he's been tracked. It's interesting that he hasn't been able to make any kind of a dent whatsoever.
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest. Every time that happens, I get exactly the same amount of excited.
Well, what is he like? You do the same thing. You're still on the Markov opping train, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
true. Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
You're holding out a lot of hope for these two guys.
And actually, now that we're on train, like that used to be one of Kogu's really good maps. So
I played Kogu once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a good time?
It was a good time.
So it's a quick spanking, or?
No, we beat him.
Oh, okay. There we go. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nekis is pushed up down towards Ivy. I like this from Pain Gaming. It means at least they're taking some initiative and actually trying to control this game a bit more. They're going to land a headshot. They're trying to retreat back in. He's down to 20 health, but Cello will also find a kill on automatic and nothing. Oh, he tried to get away, but the fire was there and then the smoke disappeared. Oh, no.
He set the trap perfectly, didn't he? Nice kill from nothing. Good trade. Also gives you Ivy control. They've lost a lot on the other side, though. This is huge. Shroud, you don't see this too frequently out of Shroud. Look at him making the plays, being the aggressor this early in the round, and that's perfect. No idea what's going on. His name has changed back to Runkdom.
It has. I don't know what's happening, but they are moving it around a bit. Skadoodle trying to fall back and throwing that smoke. He's being hunted quite a bit, but then Shroud is clearing up the B bomb site, which leaves DCT alone. Kind of hard to say how you should play this 1v3.
And that play from Shroud is so lovely, I guess is the best way to put it. And that's what you want to see more out of him against, you know, some of the better opposition, is that initiative when you know the attention isn't going to be on you, when you've lost some players. He's the one that sometimes you look to say make a play. Use that skill you have. And this time it's perfectly timed. It's the right decision, pushes all the way up, catches someone off guard, and look what he's done. He's cleared out the other side of the map for his team. He makes it so easy for them to just come over, get out of a tough situation. This was a 3-on-4, and Shroud just wins the round for him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a question that many people have been asking is, you know, why won't he try and do that, you know, against some of the better opponents, you know? Certainly feels like he could challenge a lot of people for it if he was in the mood.
Yeah, he just seems a little bit passive, a little more tentative. I mean, obviously this is something where he goes into it knowing the overwhelming favorites, right?
Yeah.
So there is that. Also, it helps being up 7-1 at the time. A lot of confidence to kind of take a risk. Yeah,
does boost that. You're right. So, I mean, I still think we should give Pain Gaming a bit of credit for doing that push down Ivy. I think that's a decent idea. It's one of those things where, you know, at this point, I'm just trying to look for ways in which Pain Gaming can show us that they keep sort of thinking about the game and keep thinking about, you know, what haven't we done, what might work, you know, because obviously they're in a really tough position. The worst thing is if people just keep running the same thing that doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen actually Pain try a bunch of different things. You know, Chad said he wanted them to come in with like a nice game plan and see if it works. Keep trying to stick with that game plan. There's a good trade. That's the AK gone. No real danger in this round anymore.
Well, once again, it's the quick push down Pop Dog that sort of opens up that bomb site pretty quickly. They didn't really have a lot of equipment, so it's hard to fault them for not putting up a good defense, but still.
Back to that point, I mean, Chad said he wanted to see like a consistent game plan, some kind of idea of how Pain wanted to approach this game. And I mean, starting on the CT side, it allows kind of Cloud9 to be the one that dictates the kind of game plan to a certain degree.
Yes.
And we've seen Pain go from wanting the AWP, wanting the double op early on, to doubling up 2 in ladder. Now they're doing Ivy pushes. So they're kind of running through the various ideas. And while they haven't found one that works, which at this point in the game is kind of, you know, scary, I guess is the best way to put it. At least they've had the ideas. At least they've been proactive in trying to fix the solutions. They're just, this is at the point where I think they're just more getting outskilled than anything.
So get better, get more skills is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
In the middle of the game.
It's easy.
All right. Tadison hoping that he could maybe steal a rifle away from someone. I mean, every little bit matters at this point in time. It's obviously not easy. 9-1 being the scoreline and moving into the 11th round. We do have different pickups here.
Now, I mean, when we say, like, get more skills, get better, right, there's things you can do strategically to kind of give yourself a better chance, right, to start feeling comfortable in the round. What they have to do is stop the early kind of aggressive plays. We saw the round the Cloud9, they were very, very slow, ran down the clock, walked towards inner, and they got shut down. It was a great setup by Pain.
Yeah.
Felt very, very comfortable. It's these fast tactics when you're not prepared for it, when you're just getting overwhelmed so quickly. Here's a change-up as well.
That's unbelievable.
That's so unfair.
Yes, I think unfair is, I mean, the universe is like that, isn't it? But still, that should have been just a quick death for Skadoodle. And he's just fully blind, fingers in his eyes, and just pulls the trigger anyway and just gets a kill. Why not?
Yeah, and they have to go for this now. No kits on Landon or Nekaz, and only one flashbang to use, and there's the usage.
Yeah, just trying to clear it out. I mean, what can you do at this point in time? If you don't go for it, you're going to be so far set back, but at the same time, it's 9-1. Got to just try and make it happen. Nothing shutting down one player, and he's very low on health. Making the jump is Nekaz. He's at least going to get that shot, but he's really nearly out of time, and he's going to run right into Shroud. Triple kill, I believe, for the Canadian player, and that will be 10-1. That kill from Skadoodle.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I mean, the benefit of it as well is even when he dies, even when he's blind, because Cloud9's so far ahead, they're just saying, you know, let's just rush in or something like that. Let's just go take control of box halls early. There's no, like, second guessing. Like, it's just kind of like, we either win this fight or we just die. So there's no one coming up to following up to be hesitant on trading that kill. It's just keep moving forward, and no one from Pain is really prepared for it. That's why, I mean, they just have to slow things down at the start of the round. They have to use the Molotovs, and that's the other issue is that double op investment very early has kind of threw their money off out of sync. They, you know, even some of their buys, even that previous buy where they all had M4s and armor, they didn't have the smokes, the Molotovs to slow these kind of plays down. And when you're low on utility like that throughout an entire half, the only thing that feels like it's going to be proactive is this kind of aggressive play from a CT position.
Got some CSET 75s in action. They're pointed the wrong way, though. That's always a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen,
I don't really have anything to go with that. You're exactly right, Anders. Yeah. They do have to be aiming at the opponents.
That was really the core information that I wanted to.
Of the weapon.
I just wanted to convey that for anyone watching. Listen, I think something weird that happens sometimes when you have, like, as you said, the skill gap and maybe the experience gap as well, is the less skilled team will look at their opponents, they'll look at all the demos, they'll try and figure out, well, how do they play on train, what do we know about them, what's their tendencies, and then when Cloud9 come in with this kind of play, all of that research is immediately invalid because Cloud9 might be playing pretty far from what they normally would play like, and you know, all their timings are thrown off, and so you've done all that homework, and because you've done all the homework, you feel like you sort of have to stick to it, right? I mean, you've spent maybe, you know, several days or weeks trying to prepare for maybe this one game, right? And then you get here and nothing works, but you feel like you have to keep doing it. And maybe, like, what I'm trying to argue is at some point maybe the thing to do is to sort of actually throw out the playbook, go against Chad's recommendations and say, listen, this doesn't work anymore. Let's try and do a bit more of a, you know, Pug style and just try and fight this. And actually, they're going to run right in. They stab Stewie with the AWP. That's definitely a bold move, and it actually sort of works out. At least they get the refrag there. So now it's a 4-on-4.
Yeah, the crazy thing is they haven't actually rotated in immediately after that exchange. They just now have. That's a nice shot from Landon. The smoke's covering him off. Almost caught out. But still, Pain should have decent control this round. It's all on the timing with this. He's spotted out. Shroud can't win the fight. Yeah, this is looking like a good round for Pain.
Certainly looking better. Landon will go down, and Nick is next in line. Yeah, why did you do that, Moses? They were doing so well.
I apologize profusely to the Pain Gaming fan base. Well, it still is a chance here. Skadoodle's going to get it planted. A 1-on-2. He's got 9 HP and an AWP.
Say it now. Surely not. Surely he can't win this. He's got his back turned as well to the C connector. Is he going to try and go up? This is, I think, maybe the best position that he could hope for. They don't have any grenades to clear him out, so if he gets the timing down right and just kills the guy defusing in the last couple of seconds, this could actually end up working. He's currently spotting it out. He doesn't want to jump the gun. They've only tabbed it once. This is incredibly sneaky from Skadoodle now. He's going to be walking forward. A couple of seconds left. He goes for the shot, and it's a headshot, and Cello is down. Oh, no. Skadoodle has got no heart at all. He gets the last kill as well. Steals the round from Pain Gaming. Unbelievable.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? 12-1. That's just cruel, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a smart play from Skadoodle as well.
Yeah.
Patient up top. I thought maybe he was going to try and go for a fight and pick one off as they approach the bomb site, but this is just perfect. 9 HP as well. Yeah, heartbreaking for Pain. Like I said, at one point, what, 4-2 before automatic chimes in? there's not a whole lot you can do in that situation. That's kind of why it's so difficult in that outer bomb site. So many different places you have to clear. Another straight up rush from Cloud9. No finesse in this game whatsoever. And
they're even shooting each other.
Yeah, they just can't get enough, can they?
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. I think the analysts are going to have a hard time. We might have to bring back the pickles and the animal references just to sort of fill out the time, because there's been one round where Cloud9 decided to say we'll slow it down, and they slowed it down so much that the Molotov on B was effective enough that the guys running up, Pop Dog could make that work. That's it. Every other round has been just straight on.
Well, that's what I imagine a lot of the conversation would be, is just the inability of Pain to slow things down, whether it's because they haven't really had a set economy that frequently. I mean, this round they at least have the 3 Molotovs that they can use to slow something down, but I mean, the majority of this, even these investments in the double op, is not panning out the way they'd like it to. It's a lot of money to be ineffective.
I'll say this, what if they bought a Negev and tried to provide
Why have you done that?
Covering fire? I'm just trying to think outside of the box here. It's 2 quick kills for nothing, and he's going to keep running in. So Stewie will pick up 1, and actually nothing, just waiting. Did he just bait Stewie to take the shot there?
I think he did. At this point, why not? You're just having a little bit of fun with it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, he goes down anyway to DCT, so at least there's that. Tatterson left 1 versus 2. A winnable clutch, I would say. He's got all the grenades for it, and because Shroud is down there by Pop Dog, if he managed to get the first kill on Skadoodle, maybe he could grenade out Shroud to win this. It's pretty much the only chance here in the 15th round, I think. We'll see if that's going to be working out. He has to figure out where they are first, and I think that's the big problem. That's why maybe he should speed it up a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, we can just go back to this point. Look how difficult it is for this entire bomb site. What are you going to do? Look at all these spots you have to clear out. He's still just taking a gamble, but Shroud's going to peek, and I have the information. 1-on-1, still no kit, though. And Skadoodle closes it out. 14-1 half.
What can you say about that? It's 19-1-4 for Skadoodle. That's a pretty good way to get started.
Yeah, you like that. You love to see it.
You love to see it. Well, not if you're paying gaming. That's
not if you're paying gaming.
That's really rough here. He did have a smoke to cancel it out, but as you said, going for the 10-second defuse inside of the smoke, just not really a viable option anyway. So
even against an AWP, you just have to imagine that it's going to hit you at least once.
Probably yes.
All onto the pistol, Anders.
And they have gone for a couple of smokes and a couple of flashbangs there on the Pain Gaming side. Always, I mean, pretty much what Cloud9 were doing. So that signals that it's going to be a setup rather than just a straight-on Glock train somewhere. I like that.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see where exactly it's going to be held, right? Stewie 2K playing aggressively up at the E-box. Nothing, and Shroud kind of buddied up at the high train, or at the back train, and over towards Ivy. Where do the smokes go is the question.
I'd guess one of them is going to go to Ivy, and the other one probably will end, somewhere on the A-bomb site, just to try and create a bit of space there.
This could be a good fight for DZT. If he drops down, Stewie misses maybe his first 2 bullets or so, he's going to have an opportunity to clear that out. That would be huge.
Yeah, and Stewie can't get help from anyone else either, so if they come out of main and pop at the same time, yeah, you're right. Well, they're waiting a lot, probably hoping that Cloud9 will give them an opening somewhere, someone pushing in, but
they're probably expecting the CT side from Cloud9 to be just as aggressive as the T side was, right? Like some kind of peak, some kind of push somewhere.
Well, there it is. No bullets missed. He goes for another one. He will be going down, but that is a very decisive headshot and nothing clearing out. DCT takes another one as Shroud. He gets landed as well. That leaves Nekis 1 versus 4 behind the E-box. Oh, he's shooting him in the feet.
There's little booties.
Cruel little booties. Cruel and unusual punishment, I would say.
This is the difference, though, because the smokes from both teams were the same on those pistol rounds, right?
Yes.
Connector and towards Ivy. And the difference is Cloud9 gets in front of the smokes and just takes the heads-up fight. Pain didn't want to take those fights on the CT side. They wanted to play the retake game, and you just can't do that. It also helps that Stewie was so close up in ladder room, gets 1 kill there. But when you take those long-range fights, that's the advantage of the USP. It's when those Glocks get close up in the corners and everything that they have the advantage, where you just don't know where they are. They have all the bullets. They can shoot faster. You have a lot more mobility. But I mean, Shroud down that lane with the USP is just going to be deadly.
Wow, this is...
Chad would call this a fisting.
A fisting?
I believe.
Okay. We'll have to see about that. Well, Cello picks up 1 good kill there. Automatic with the refrag, and obviously last-ditch effort for Pain Gaming here. This 3-on-3 still not going to be all that easy. They need to get in and get the bomb down somewhere. Skadoodle going to find a really good angle as they line up. He gets 2 quick kills and could easily make it a third, but it will be Stewie instead. 16-1. Moses, I mean, it's the first time in the qualifier so far we've had this kind of a scoreline.
Yeah.
When you say fisting, are we talking?
What are you going to try and do?
Are we talking your wrist or elbow deep, or like how?
That felt elbow, didn't it?
It did.
Sunflower.
Yeah, it'll take a couple of days to recover from that, I believe.
No sitting down for the Pain guys. But yeah, it all stems from that early round control, right? I mean, Cloud9 was just rushing everything, and if you can't slow that down, that's why this map can feel so momentum-based and snowbally, is just because once their economy's out of sync, once they know that they can't stop anything, those fast-paced hits are just so hard to stop, especially when they're so willing to take all those fights.
Yeah, well, at least when you're in that situation, it's good that it's quick. Like, get over it quick.
Yeah, if it's got to be anything.
Yeah. So we'll throw it back to the panel. I look forward to hearing the discussion. I think we've given the right sort of topics.
We've set the stage. We've set the stage.
Take it away, please.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to continue down that graphic.
You're a bit squirmish.
Squirmish.
Yeah,
squeamish. Squeamish.
Squirmishes works.
I think it works.
Why is he doing that?
I'm not sure, but you know, Brazilians are normally the ones dishing out the fistings. You can ask Matt about that one.
Bloody hell! Yeah, that was a
that was quite a convincing win. They've both muted their mics so that they could cough with laughter. Brilliant. Okay, let's
go on.
Let's try our hardest to break down that 16-1.
I can do it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, go for it.
So we spoke about, and well, when I say we, I meant I spoke about Pain needing a game plan and trying to have initiative on a map like this and dictate the pace on the CT or the T side. And they started on the CT side, and they definitely did that. They had game plans. They were pushing areas of the map. They were going through double AWP setups, single AWP setups, playing different map territory. But the thing is, once you start losing to a momentum-based, skill-based team like Cloud9, you're playing catch-up constantly. Because this is what you want when you're like a new in-game leader or just any team, because your decisions is like, well, it's just like chess, or actually probably more so checkers. They make one move, and then you know the one to make immediately after that, and Cloud9 were always one step ahead. The guys from Pain were always playing catch-up, and they just couldn't get into the game.
This is the kind of playstyle we saw from Cloud9 in those Brazil Pro League finals. This is what we came to expect on a map like Train, looking very confident, assertive, every call was going their way, every clutch. It seemed like everything was just aligning for them perfectly, but we haven't seen them perform like that against a top team. I think in this sort of level of Counter-Strike, it works fantastically. But as soon as they lose a pistol or they get anti-ecoed, something like that, something goes against them, then they start to crumble. At this particular scenario, they only lost one round, right, which they fully reset afterwards. Momentum completely in their favor. And sure, you suggested that the CTs could probably do a bit more, like they did try a few aggressive rounds there, but as soon as they did that, every single round, Cloud9, it felt like they were just going super fast outside.
Yeah,
there's not really much you can do to actually shut that down. If you're playing 3 players inside and they just rushed out, okay, you're done for. If you're going towards Ivy, they're doing the same thing. It seemed like they just had a really nice outside basic execution to get them some map control to find those initial kills.
Yeah, the decisions were perfect off of that aggression, right? If on the CT side, they had done a 3-man push and they had found the mob of the terrorists and they were able to take them down and have an exchange, they give themselves a late round advantage. They give themselves like a 2v2, maybe a clutch situation. But even when we got to those clutch situations where we see Skadoodle in that 2-on-1 situation with the AWP, not the weapon you want, definitely not the HP you want, I think it was 9. I really enjoyed that play. Planning on the end of the bomb train, getting all the way up heaven and not breaking the glass, not doing anything, watching the CTs as they fake defuse and not panicking. That was fantastic by him.
Just guaranteeing the victory at that point. A lot of players would have been tempted to say, I've got a free kill here, I can make this a 1-on-1 instantly. He didn't want to give his position away at all, just watching down on them, like in the perfect position as well. And then at the moment he thought, okay, they've got about 7, 8 seconds now, go for that kill, stay alive once again, baited to an impossible situation, get the second kill. Really nice clutch overall. Wasn't the flashiest, but it was just really well thought out.
Loved it.
It was very impressive. Talking of which, let's move on then to the mummy MVP of the match, which is the man himself, Skadoodle.
Wow, 8.53.
That is a hell of an impact.
That's the record.
Do you know the information that all factors into this kind of stuff?
No, please break it down.
So there's different terminology used here. There's like base kills and trade kills and all that kind of stuff, but it factors in a lot of situations. So if you're in an afterplant situation and you have less players alive, for example, say there's 2 of you alive and there's 5 of them alive, every kill you get in that situation counts more points going towards this impact rating. Yes and no.
Okay.
If you win the round, right, then it obviously adds more points.
Let's say you're saving a weapon in a 1v5 situation, you kill 3 of them.
I don't know exactly how that factors in, Henry.
So that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I was just trying to make everyone get excited about the impact rating. You've just ruined it.
Well, I'm excited about
make
it.
sure we're on the same page.
Honestly, that's by far, that's definitely the biggest one we've seen this weekend. And as we heard yesterday from the PGL guys, I think that's one of the biggest ratings they've ever seen.
Was 7, I think.
Yeah.
That's what yesterday. So we've got 8.53 there. So that's the new record to beat.
That is the highest we're hearing. It is the highest they've ever seen. So yeah, that's.
I guess because he barely ever died there. He had over 20 kills and only 4 deaths. So that's obviously going to make a massive difference. Never dying.
Certainly. So some final thoughts there. Can Payne take anything away from that? Because and we spoke about before how maybe Cloud9 will have been able to watch any of Payne's previous games on train. Do we think that came into this at all, or was it just pure?
That was just
it's just a different.
They just looked very confident in their
level.
own game plan. They were hitting the shots. All 5 players turned up. We saw nothing. Have some good highlight clips there as well. Not one of the players that has really flashy plays. Skadoodle, nice to see him in good form as well. Shroud actually looked pretty decent. Very good towards the pop dog area on that T side, and he didn't even have to watch a CT half from them. So I think it's Payne just not really rising to the occasion here. Maybe a bit out of their depth. I don't think they'll be causing any further damage in this tournament.
It's a nightmare situation for them as well. You don't even get warmed up when you win one round. It means you're not making many frags. The rounds weren't close. There wasn't a lot of clutch situations. So they now have to wait and hope that when they play either Misfits or CLG that they can actually start the game hot, because they're in a cooled off position right now, that's for sure.
Do you think Cloud9 will feel warmed up after that? Because it's too easy in a way? Or
that's
do you
what
think
you want.
It's a confidence boost now. They're the first game of the day, right?
Cool.
Now they can sit back and watch the other side of the bracket and see what the other team's performing, what maps they want to play, and see what kind of play style they're bringing. Obviously, you've got a bit of a wild card there with Misfits, right?
Yeah,
They don't want to be watching them and see what they're bringing to the table. So they can sit back now, keep warmed up, and just kind of be happy with that first result and think, okay, this is the tournament we've actually looked decent at off the get-go. So it's a nice, positive start for them.
And Skadoodle playing well is a confidence boost, not only for him, but the team behind him. So it's like, well, you know, it was an easy game. We did win it, but he was on fire, so that's good.
Okay, thanks, guys. Game 1 is down from Group B. Cloud9 win and go through to the next stage of the upper bracket in this group stage. But we do have the second game coming up very soon, but we will take a short break first. But stick with us. Misfits and CLG will be coming up very soon. And yeah, we'll be right back.